Hi, hi, ladies. I didn't realise I'd gone live already. Hi, beautiful ladies. My name is Gina Mitchell, and I'm the CEO and founder of Midlife Coaching for Women. And Sandra has very graciously given me this time to actually speak to you about what the hell is happening to my body since I turned 40. And I can tell you all about this, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the fact that after 40, our bodies really do begin to change, right? And particularly as women, all right? So as women, at some time between 40 and 50, you'll go through menopause or perimenopause, and maybe after 50, menopause. And all these things start to happen to your body. And that's when you start thinking, what the hell is going on, right? And a lot of the things that actually happen, you don't even realise as menopause. It's not until in retrospect that I look back and thought, oh my God, this and this and this was actually perimenopause or menopause. And I didn't understand. I just thought it was extreme stress. So this is where I want to I don't want anybody else to go through what I did. So that's why I actually do what I do. And I'm going to actually sort of talk a little bit about that today. So what happens, of course, at perimenopause is that it's the end of your reproductive life. Now, you've had your children or not, but your body's saying, no more reproduction, no more thinking about it. It's time to shut down. So the first thing that starts to happen is that your ovaries start to shut down the production of progesterone, and that starts to decrease. Then a while later, the estrogen starts to shut down. Okay, so that's basically what starts to happen. Now, ordinarily, what would happen is that the adrenal glands pick up, and the body's so bloody amazing, it really is. The adrenal glands would normally pick up going, oh, the ovary's starting to shut down the production of estrogen and progesterone. I might pick up the slack a bit. And so that would happen normally. However, in this modern day culture, and especially with women, we are severely stressed. We have full-time jobs. We do the major share and the lion's share of looking after our families and even our communities, our aging parents, whatever it might be. We do the lion's share of that. And because we're programmed to do that, by the way, ladies, we can sort of, bash our husbands as much as we like about not helping as much. But honestly, we are and still will be programmed to do that. So what happens then is, of course, that our adrenal glands are burnt out. And so they can't pick up the slack from the ovaries, and they don't produce the estrogen and progesterone that we need to keep the symptoms of menopause away or of perimenopause away. So that is why Western women have a really hard time with menopause compared to, say, people living in Indigenous cultures, or even if we go back to our great-grandmothers who basically stayed home, they didn't work. But now most women do everything, right? We do everything. And I think because we get used to doing that too, throughout our lives, that we look after everybody else and we put ourselves last, and, we give our children and our husbands and partners the biggest pieces of meat. I'm a vegetarian, I don't even know why I said that. But, we always put ourselves last and give ourselves a smaller share. And I know I do that with my husband too. So it's, yeah. Anyway, we won't go there. So basically, stress really does compound really badly the symptoms of menopause and perimenopause. So it's really important as women that we actually manage our stress, and we have to learn to put ourselves first. Really, really important. So, I've actually written blogs on this. I've even got an ebook on which I'll actually put the link to in the post down the bottom, in the comment down the bottom. But it's basically how it's about managing your menopause symptoms, and a lot of it is about self-care. So I will post that very down below after this. But there's something else that's going on underneath all this. That's the physical side, okay? That's the biological side. But now we're going to talk about the emotional side. Now, in the massive development periods, that's between the ages of 0 and 7 is called the imprinting period. And that's when, as children, as babies, we start downloading our software to be able to cope with the world. And it's got no filters at that point, right? So if your parents, and it really was mainly your parents, not so much your teacher, well, it could have been your infant teachers and your siblings or aunties and uncles or whatever, people that were close. But if they said things to you like, oh, you're so talented, you're so beautiful, you're so wonderful, and you go, yeah, I am. I'll take that in. It's part of my programming. Of course, you're not thinking this consciously, obviously. Now, the thing is, though, your parents and your teachers didn't always say that, did they? They didn't know. You know, they were programmed the same way. So they might have said things like, oh, you stupid girl, if they got angry at you for doing something. Or, you know, you're an idiot. Or, you know, you've got no sense. Things like that. Money doesn't grow on trees. I could rattle them all off because they're probably, not probably, I know they're part of my programming. But what happens is, of course, that the unconscious mind really doesn't know the difference between the, you know, the positive and the negative, and it just downloads it all. Yeah, I must be stupid. I must have no sense. I must be an idiot. And you take that on. Okay? So there's a whole mixture of different things that you take on as a child up to about 7 years old. Then past that, you go into the modelling phase, and that's when you start to reject information like, I don't think Santa Claus really exists. In fact, my 7-year-old little great nephew said that to me at Christmas time. He said, Gina, I reckon it's Mum and Dad that brings us Christmas presents. I don't know about Santa. And I just had to keep the magic going because, of course, he's got younger brothers and sisters. And I said, yeah, sweetheart, yeah, Santa does bring you presents. However, I think Mum and Dad, they do too. So we sort of kept the magic going that way. But at 7 years old, he's starting to question this whole thing, okay? It's like, the things aren't true, doesn't ring true, because his mind is actually developing. But up till 7 years old, approximately, we download everything as absolute truth. So the thing is, though, once we reach puberty, and we've never dealt with it, okay? We reach puberty, and then the hormones kick in, don't they? Whoa, and everything else gets suppressed. Yeah, you know, the estrogen's going and the progesterone's going and the boys, all their testosterone's going. And, of course, everything else in the world, it just does not matter anymore. All you want to do is you want to look the prettiest for the cutest boy in your class, or, you know, you want to start having sex, you want to start having relationships and get married and eventually have kids and sort of nurture your family and nurture, you know, your husband, nurture everybody, your parents, whatever, your community even. And so putting yourself last. Now, that's all very well, but during that time, a lot of the stuff from our childhood, a lot of the wounds, a lot of the programming, the negative programming, we don't want, we can keep the positive programming, that's great, okay, but the negative programming, that's remained quite suppressed because, you know, you've got this other whole level of programming happening to you, okay, that hormonal programming. Okay, so once you actually get then to perimenopause and then menopause, and that programming starts to wear off, a lot of women, not just because of the physical symptoms, they start to get emotional, and it's like they think there's something wrong with them. And what it is, everybody, what it is that your childhood wounds, now that that level of programming, the hormonal programming is worn off, all the other programming, that childhood stuff is coming up going, tap, 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 deal with me. Okay, I'm here now. That other program that's actually covered us up for so long, it's no longer there. Deal with me, deal with me, deal with me. And of course, a lot of women don't know what the hell's going on. They think there's something wrong with them. They think they're going crazy. They wonder why they want to stab their husband in the eye with a fork. They wonder why they want their kids just to leave them alone and piss off and leave home, right? So this is all happening. And it's like such a wonderful opportunity for personal development, an absolute amazing opportunity when all of those childhood wounds start tapping you on the shoulder going, here I am, you know, I'm ready to be dealt with now. I'm coming up for you. That's why you're getting upset. That's why you're getting emotional. Deal with me, deal with me, deal with me. And I guess that's where I come in as a coach. This is where I help women to actually overcome all of those wounds after the hormonal programming has worn off. And what we can do then, what I can help women do, is to create the next stage of their life, basically with them as their own leading lady, okay? No excuses. You know, you can still have a happy marriage or get a divorce if you want, kick your kids out or have them as you know, like as flatmates if you like. Whatever it is that you want to do, however you want to design your life, in all areas of life or any area of life that needs fixing or updating, not just fixing but updating, I can actually help you with. So what I've got for you is a free gift, okay? I'm going to put my the link down below of this. I was going to do the menopause tips, wasn't I? I think I might give you both gifts, actually. There's the menopause tips to keep you sane, and there's another one, which is basically a release and relax meditation, which takes about 15 minutes. And I did it specifically, I created it specifically for COVID. And I mentioned that at the beginning, but basically you can use it for any stress or any anxiety that you actually have in your life. It doesn't have to be COVID related. So I will put those down in the links in the post below, in the comments below, because I'm doing this on my phone and I can't even see any comments coming. Oh, I can see a couple of comments flicking through actually. Sandra, thank you so much for inviting me into your group to actually have this bit of a chat. And talking about Sandra with her remedies, the little yellow pill, that can really help with menopause symptoms as well. So I've heard some really good feedback from that. So by all means, get into that as well. But we not just need physical help, we also need emotional help as well. So anyway, I think that's the end of my live. Shall I go now, Sandra? Thank you so much for having me on your group. And I really hope this has been of value and of help to all of the people in the group that actually showed up. And I think there'll be a replay as well. So if you do miss it, there will be a replay. Okay then, guys, much love. Take care. Have fun. Bye.